Where would we be without those sacrifices?
Get your daily dose of motivation on the Motivational Moments with Michelle podcast. In Motivation with Michelle podcast, you'll get encouraging, uplifting, and life-changing wisdom that will transform your world at your fingertips, 24 hours a day. Get a fuller, deeper revelation of the tools you can implement to see incredible transformation in your life from Michelle Neustadter's powerful teachings. Tune in whenever you need to be edified, uplifted, or a dose of motivation, no matter where you are. Subscribe to Motivational Moments with Michelle podcast with Michelle Neustadter today on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or SoundCloud.
Hey there, and welcome to this Wednesday Word of Wisdom. I am really glad you are joining me today. November 11th is a day that we here in North America, we celebrate this day as a day for remembering, and for remembering those freedoms that we've been given, the freedoms that were fought for, the freedoms that people lost their lives to protect. And I think there's a lot of times where we kind of take that for granted, and we don't always remember just how powerful and impactful those sacrifices were. See, Remembrance Day marks the day that the war ended in 1918. And every year we hold a celebration where at 11 a.m. on the 11th day of the 11th month, we honor those who gave their lives, or those who have served our country, or those who have served us to protect our basic rights and freedoms. And with so much turmoil that's gone on in the last little while, I just think it is even more so important that we celebrate that and that we remember that, because those are the things that everybody has been fighting for over the past few years. And yet, are we really taking the time to really think into and honor why we even have any of those rights and freedoms? See, we wear a poppy to remember those who have gone before and those who serve. And because it's a symbol. It's a symbol of the battlefields in the World War. See, the poppy, you might not know this, but the poppy produces seeds that are able to remain in the ground for as long as about 100 years. And they will only grow in disturbed soil. So during the war, all of the trench digging and the bombs and the other destruction that was caused by the war caused so much damage on those fields that suddenly, all of a sudden, thousands of poppies were starting to bloom. One of the most famous ways that we remember that this day is through the poem by the Canadian author John McCrae, who was a soldier. He wrote the poem in Flanders Fields, and he was inspired to write this poem after the death of one of his fellow soldiers who had already died in a battle during the war. According to the legend, it took him just a few minutes to write the poem, and he hated it, wanted to throw it out, so somebody pulled it out of the trash. And apparently it was first published in 1915, and within just a few months this poem began to symbolize the sacrifice that of the people who were currently fighting in the war. And that poem continues to be a part of how we remember those who have gone before. I, for one, don't take lightly the fact that I get to live in such a wonderful place with so many wonderful benefits and so many freedoms that, sometimes we squabble over the little things. But I think this is a day to just put a pause in all of that and to slow down and just take a moment to really, truly ponder all that we have, all that we get to be. I mean, that's why we live in such a diverse and multicultural country, because other countries want their families to be able to have or be afforded those same liberties and those same opportunities so that they can have better lives and live in a place where there is that potential for peace and for freedom and for expression, and never take it lightly. Remembrance Day is a day where we honor more than 1.5 million Canadians who have served to protect our nation throughout history, and more than 118,000 who died specifically for our freedom. Be proud of who you are. Remember that you are privileged. You have privilege just for the fact that you live here. Just for the fact that this is where you've made yourself home. So take a moment today. Sit in awe. Remember those who went before us, and even those who serve today. Where would we be without those sacrifices? So take a moment just to process, to ponder, just to sit in awe of all that we have, of all that we are, of all that we get to be. Because somebody decided to take a stand so that we could be free.
Are you finding it difficult to wind down? Like you're always on edge, irritable, just can't seem to slow that hamster on the wheel in your mind? In today's fast-paced, high expectation, always on, excessively busy world, we are just getting inundated with more emails, more notifications, more work, more busyness. Caught in the rat race on the wheel of speed, artificial urgency, and noise. Our minds are running all over the place, keeping us distracted, unable to focus on anything for more than a few moments, and leaves us feeling like life is happening to us. It's impacting sleep, appetite, and even our ability to connect with friends and family. We're losing our peace, our connectedness, the ability to slow down, reflect, and contemplate, and even losing ourselves in the process. It's time to re-honor yourself. It's time to reconnect with your innate nature, to learn that you can experience peace, even within the storms. Learn to dismiss those unhelpful thoughts, that desire to recoil in emotion, to shift away from the need to impress and regain control in a world that feels so out of control. Create your own competing system that allows you to just be, to be human, to contemplate in stillness, to flow within your world in quiet peace. At Calm and Quiet Restorations, we offer you just that. Learn the art of quieting the mind, restoring the body, and calming the soul. This ongoing program is for learning the skill, connecting with yourself, and equipping, inspiring, and empowering you to take it into your everyday world. Each class is standalone. Come when you can, don't when you can't. Register today at michellenewstettercounseling.as.me or click the link below.